As I said, the international law is of extreme clarity when it comes to the situation in the occupied Palestinian territory. I really don't know what else can be said, because I don't think that member states do not understand. They just don't want to do what we are all, the human rights community, reminding them they should be doing, because there is an obligation not to aid and assist, not to aid and assist in any possible ways a state which is committing international wrongdoing. There are, and this is where we need to go next, when this is persistent, when this lack of compliance with international law becomes widespread and systematic, it results into sustaining, enabling the illegal act. So what should be done? Arms embargo, which means no trade in arms, no buying, no selling parts or arms in full, not directly, not indirectly through another state. This is the first thing that member states should have done already last year, when International Court of Justice recognized the risk of genocide, and then, in the case of Nicaragua versus Germany, reminded member states of their obligation not to transfer weapons to a state which might be committing violations of international humanitarian law, meaning war crimes. And it's clear that Israel is, I mean, you can say that really closed eyes that Israel is committing war crimes. How? Because Israel was already committing war crimes before October 7. The colonies, the blockade, etc. So you see, there has been a level of normalization of the legality that Israel has ended up representing. And now it seems that member states almost don't know how to react and do the right thing, come back to a path of compliance with legality. But then there are countermeasures that member states have to take, and the stopping trade is not just for weapons, it's also for regular commercial activities and businesses. This is what happens when a state commits serious crimes, as Israel is doing. And should it not happen, well, there is a need for accountability of the very people who have been giving orders to continue trade and arms transfers toward Israel. The last point is divestment. As I want to remind everyone, as I did with my last report, that we cannot imagine that the business sector, the private sector, from arms manufacturers to tourism industry, banks, pension funds, universities, are allowed to do, are permitted to do what member states shouldn't be doing, meaning aiding and assisting an unlawful endeavor, especially as businesses, by the very fact of interacting with this unlawful endeavor, can be directly linked, contributing to, even causing human rights violations. So this is, again, the human rights standards, international law are very clear. It's clear, equally clear, is that member states tend to violate international law in this context rather than abiding, and so it's time for justiciability. And again, everyone who's partaking in this endeavor must be held accountable, of course, based on the possibilities of also civil society judges and lawyers on the ground.